Right, so because I'm mixing resin, I've got my gloves, and I'm going to need less than what I have to mix because you need to mix a certain amount. So what I've got is some extra moulds out because you don't want to waste it, and I've got loads of resin paper, so I don't want to make any more resin paper basically. So they are ready. Put that away. I'm doing that today. So feel free to chat away, have a nice conversation. Self-adhesive tape for fake stained glass. That might work if it's proper metal. Might work. You won't find out until you try. But I will say one thing. Plumber's tape, the silver stuff, does not work. So don't even bother. Right, what I want to do is find one of these lovely La Blanche rub-ons, and yes, they are rub-ons, and they've got like glitter in them and stuff. See, it's sparkling here. Find a better one. Oh look, alright, a pretty angel. There you go, see her wings sparkle? So these are pretty good really for rub-ons. So I want to find, this light is glaring at me now. Nope, not that one. I've got loads of these things, absolutely loads. They're amazing for rub-ons. I use them quite a lot. That's one of these as well. That one's one of these. And that's got glittery bits on it as well. Ooh. Knocking my badges over. So let's see. No, too big, too big. Look, she's got a kitten in a basket. Ooh. Isn't that cute? No, looks funny. She's a maybe. Oh, he fits. I like her with her flowers. And they do adult ones as well, not just kid ones. And they're all basically Victorian postcards. Look at them too. Yeah, that's a good idea. Lynn? Lula Lynn? Wow, she looks quite demonic. I'm not going to use that one. Them two. Oh, they fit perfect. Right, I'm going to use these two here. It's glaring. Oh wait, it did focus. So I'm going to use these two. You can see through. They fit in. Perfect. Or should I use a little boy? So little boy looks quite cool too. There's a little boy. Smelly, I bet. So, I can't decide which one do you think, the little boy or the couple? They both fit. Cast your votes now. Little boy or couple? And two back. Little boy? Okay. Little boy it is. So put the couple back. So, anyone that doesn't know how to Some of these pictures are quite freaky actually. Anyway, anyone that doesn't know how to use rub-ons, hi Karen. The best way to use them so you don't actually ruin them and they don't fall apart and the protective sheeting doesn't fall off is to just cut straight out of the packaging and don't take them out of the packaging. I never use the lolly sticks that are in the packaging anyway. I always use a ball tool because I find you get a better result. So I am just gonna cut this little boy out, and I don't need all of him, so cut his feet off. And put him back. What I'm going to do is I'm going to now colour with the Treasure Gold. So, Treasure Gold, a lot of us UK girls use Treasure Gold. If you've seen Darcy doing stuff for Paper Artsy, pretty much all of us use Treasure Gold really. It's a gilding wax, really. Stinks to high heaven. Always keep the window open, and don't leave the lid off too long. So I'm going to use it with a paintbrush, and this brush is, all I use this brush for is the Treasure Gold. And you use minute bits of it. Tilt this back, that's better. So all I'm going to do is dab a bit onto my brush, and then I use my lid to tap it about a bit. And this is where you can see. So it's just a clear piece of resin, and as soon as I do this, not fussed about getting it on my hands because it'll come off. This light is interfering, some chronic. Ah, there you go, you can see. So I've done this bit. There you go. It brings up all the detail and everything. So it's going to show up every single flaw that this mould has thrown at me. Okay, so there we have our little boy. And he's now perfectly seated in the bottom. You can't see through the back anymore. So I don't want him to float because stuff floats in resin. And it sounds weird because you think that resin is, oh, excuse me, resin is quite a viscous material, but stuff floats, so I just want to make sure that he's well down, especially around the edges. Right then, so I've got my little dude and he's in the frame. Oh, look at that. So you saw the frame before and you can see how it's not right. So look at the edges. It's really not right. And that wasn't my rubbish mold making ability because I made a million molds and this was the third one of this one and I still could not get a good one that I was happy with. Could just be me being picky, but you know. Right. So he's down, he's not going to float, so I'm going to put my gloves on. So resin safety, be aware it is a chemical reaction and it is quite dangerous. You don't want to let your pets near it. You need to have it on a completely level surface because it is exactly like water. If you put it like on your things like that and then it's all going to drip out, so it needs to be perfectly level. And if any dust or anything drops on it, or cat hair or anything, then that's going to stick to it, and the only way to get that out is to sand it. If you ever sand or do drill into resin, you must wear a mask. Resin is dangerous, the fibres will damage your airways. So be safety aware. I live in a very, very, hi JC, I live in a very, very dusty place, so I use this and put my resin pieces in here to dry. I do leave it with the top. I don't close the top fully. I do leave it open a bit because obviously it does need the fumes to escape and its air reaction and what have you. This is just a tub that had washing powder ball thingies in it, and I just washed it out after it was empty. So always have everything ready that you want to use. I had a couple of cat hairs in this mould that I just wanted to pull out before I did. Okay, got a couple of moulds ready for my overflow. And all I will say is that before you pour and mix, make sure that you've got everything ready that you want to work with. It just makes it easier because you want to pour it, get it flat, get it away, and be done. So I've got various moulds out and put them to one side. I am using ice resin because it is a jewellery grade resin and I'm doing a jewellery project. This is the packaging it comes in if you get it nowadays, which I'm not opening that one because I've got a big bottle here which is an old bottle which needs using. And this is the packaging it came in. They changed it last year, I think I want to say. So this. I can't open the bag wearing plastic gloves on. Should have done that first. if you buy it in a set like this, you get these little pouring things. I find these really, really annoying and really, really useless. So I personally don't use them, but it's a preference thing. When you're mixing resin, you always want to do it with a piece of wood. So I've got a lollipop stick and plastic and plastic's not working. And I've got a mixing cup. The mixing cups that they give you and that they sell are actually really good, because I don't know if it will show it. Yeah, it will. It's got all kinds of measurements around the side. And I find that if you're aiming for 1 tablespoon and you go over a bit, all you do is turn it around to your next mark and then you can get it equal up. So we've got a part A and a part B, and this one's part A, this one's part B. If you get a new one, it won't be brown like this. Mine's brown because it's really old. Another reason why I need to get it used, because it's getting past its use by not date. It'll only be good for doing resin paper. It won't be clear if I leave it much longer. So that's basically it. So once you start pouring, you don't stop, and I'm pouring part A first. So this will go straight in the bin, and I will keep this because I'll use this to test if my resin is dry, is hardened. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to stir, and I'm making sure I'm getting all the edges and everything, and I'm going to stir slowly, and you should be able to see, yep, you can, it's getting different striations in it. Yep, you can see. And it's changing. The whole part of it's changing. I'm not mixing fast because I'm not beating an egg and I don't want to get air bubbles in it. There is a trick to getting air bubbles out, but it's not recommended.